Did you know Athens is Europe's oldest capital? Records show the city's origins go back to around 3,400 years ago, also making it one of the oldest cities in the world. A symbol of Western civilization at its most magnificent, Athens' illustrious history stretches back more than 3,000 years. The city flourished during classical antiquity and was the birthplace of Socrates, Pericles, and Sophocles. More than just a relic of its glorious past, today Athens is a bustling and modern capital city and home to some of the country's most important tourist attractions. The Acropolis is one of the world's most breathtaking ancient ruins, and the city's exceptional museums display fascinating artifacts uncovered at local sites. Other hidden charms awaiting discovery are the dazzling Byzantine churches found all over the city and the village-like neighborhoods north of the Acropolis. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll tell you about the 10 best places you can visit in Athens, Greece. But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more similar content. Let's dive in. 1. Visit ancient Acropolis. Few sites in the world compare to Athens' Acropolis, with its Parthenon temple perched high on a rocky crag, keeping watch over centuries of civilization. A reminder of the glory of ancient Athens. The Acropolis was the center of the ancient city and functioned as a citadel protected in its hilltop location. The most emblematic building is the Parthenon, the largest temple of the classical antiquity period, dating back from 447 BC to 338 BC. With its monumental rows of Doric columns and stunning sculptural details, the temple is an awe-inspiring sight. In the frieze of the eastern side, reliefs depict the birth of the goddess Athena. For beautiful views of the Acropolis from below, head to the north side of the hill. Street-side restaurants line the pedestrian street of Apostolou Pavlou and look up to the Acropolis. Some of the restaurants also have rooftop dining with incredible views across to the Acropolis, showing the grand entrance, the Temple of Athena, Nike, and the Parthenon, all of which are lit up in the evenings. 2. Acropolis Museum. Another of Athens' top attractions, the Acropolis Museum contains one of the most valuable collections in ancient Greek art in the world. The new facility was completed in 2007 below the Acropolis hilltop and replaced the former museum on the hill. This huge facility, 25,000 square meters, and features 14,000 square meters of exhibition space. The unique layout incorporates an ancient Athenian neighborhood. This is one of the best things to do in Athens when temperatures are soaring at midday. Be aware, the entrance queue to purchase tickets can be long, so it's best to book your tickets online in advance. That way, you'll have a guaranteed admission at a specific time. 3. National Archaeology Museum. Founded in the 19th century, Athens National Archaeological Museum is the largest archaeological museum in Greece and one of the greatest antiquities museums in the world. The museum is housed in an impressive neoclassical building with 8,000 square meters of exhibition space. On display are 5 permanent collections with more than 11,000 exhibits, offering a comprehensive overview of Greek civilization from prehistory through the classic period to late antiquity. 4. Wander the Plaka and the Anaphtiotika neighborhoods. Between the northern slopes of the Acropolis and Ermo Street, the picturesque Plaka neighborhood is a tourist hotspot. The main attraction of this historic area is its charming village ambiance. Narrow pedestrian streets and the cheerful little squares of the Plaka quarter are lined with lovely bougainvillea-trimmed pastel-painted houses, restaurants, and shops. Tucked away in peaceful corners of the neighborhood are historic churches, such as the Metamorphosis Church in the southwest and the Church of Kapnikaria in the north. A leisurely stroll through the picturesque setting is the perfect thing to do when you've had your fill of ruins and museums. 5. Stroll through the ancient agora, ruins of the marketplace. The ancient agora was the marketplace in the center of everyday life in ancient Athens. For an impressive view of the agora from afar, head to the north wall of the Acropolis or the roads from the Areopagus. The best place to enter the agora is at the north gate off Adrianou Street, near the Church of St. Philip. The Greek word agora means to gather and orate, indicating that this site was a location of public speaking. The agora was a place of administration and commerce, as well as the meeting place of the Agora Tudimwu, a civic decision-making group. Athletic events and theater performances were also held here. One of the most striking features of the ancient agora is the Stoa of Attalos, originally built by King Attalos II and reconstructed in the 1950s. The Stoa may have been the scene of Socrates' trial in 399 BC. 6. The Roman Agora and Hadrian's Library. Adjacent to the ancient Agora is the site of the Roman Agora. While it may seem like one site, these buildings were constructed later, and construction eventually moved on to the site of the ancient Agora. One of the easily recognizable sites here is the Tower of the Winds. On the edge of the Roman Agora is the ancient Hadrian's Library, founded by Emperor Hadrian in AD 132. Even later, during Byzantine times, 3 churches were built near the site of the library. You can see one wall of Hadrian's Library and ruins of the Roman Agora from the street, but if you want to explore further, you can buy a ticket and walk through the ruins. 7. Museums of Cycladic Art. In the Koloniki Quarter, the Museum of Cycladic Art was created in 1986 by the Nicholas and Dolly Goulandry Foundation. The ship owner of Nicholas P. Goulandry was a well-known patron of the arts and cultural life in Athens. Goulandry's own collection forms the core of the museum's exhibits. Housed in a sleek, modern building with a facade of marble and glass, the museum's permanent collection includes more than 3,000 objects. The collection represents ancient Greek art of the Cyclades, the islands in the Aegean Sea encircling the island of Delos near Mykonos, and Cyprio art from the island of Cyprus, dating back from the 4th century BC to 6th century AD. Many of the artifacts on display date to the 6th century BC. Temporary exhibits are held at the elegant 19th century Stadthaus mansion, accessible from the main building by a passageway from the atrium. 8. Olympion, Temple of Olympian Zeus. Dedicated to Zeus, the Temple of Olympian Zeus, also called the Olympion, was the largest temple in ancient Greece. Though the Parthenon is better preserved, the Temple of Olympian Zeus was an even more monumental structure in its day. The temple dates the 6th century BC, but was not completed until the 2nd century AD by the Emperor Hadrian. In front of the Olympion, not far from the entrance, stands Hadrian's Arch at the end of Dionysu Areopagitou. It's easy to imagine the grand impression this temple made in its complete form. More than 100 enormous marble columns once supported the grandiose sanctuary. Only 15 columns remain standing, and another surviving column lies on the ground, but the ruins' monumental presence give a sense of its massive size of the original building. The gigantic structure was a befitting shrine to Zeus, the ancient Greeks' most all-powerful god, known as the King of Gods. 9. Panathenaic Stadium and Olympic Stadium. Ancient Athens' largest building, the Panathenaic Stadium, has a capacity of 60,000 spectators. Constructed around 335 BC during the era of Herodes Atticus, the venue hosted its Panathenaic Games, where runners competed in races around the track. The 204-meter-long track was designed with 4 double herms, where runners would turn in the races. Around AD 140, the stadium was updated with new marble seating by Herodes Atticus. The structure that tourists see today is a replica of the original stadium, which was rebuilt for the Olympic Games of 1896. This modern-era Olympic Stadium was created in the identical fashion as the Panathenaic Stadium, with 47 tiers of seating and rounded southeast end. 10. Byzantine Museum. This interesting museum offers fascinating insights into the Byzantine period of Greek history. Housed in a 19th century palace originally built for the Duchess de Plaisance, the wife of Charles-François Le Brun of France, the museum displays a precious collection of Byzantine art. The Byzantine Empire was the inheritance of the eastern half of the Roman Empire after it fell. From the 3rd century to the 15th century, the Byzantine Empire ruled over the land of what is now the Balkans, Greece, and Asia Minor. During this time, religious art was highly valued. Byzantine artists created masterpieces of detailed, glittering mosaics and gilded icons. That was all from us today, folks. For more similar content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.